Yes, people. Welcome back to another video. And today we're speaking about a winger at Real Madrid in Rodrigo. Now, could he be potentially on the way to the Premier League this summer? Could it be potentially on the way to potentially Liverpool? Will he be staying at Real Madrid? We're going to talk and dive in about it. So a tweet was released breaking there are many chances for Rodrigo to leave Real Madrid this summer. Everything will depend on his conversations with Xabi Alonso. Now, the reason why I brought this up is also because Graham Bailey has reported that Liverpool have also spoken to Rodrigo's representatives. So this all links together. I would love this deal to happen. I would absolutely love it to happen. He's been my dream, realistic signing for a couple of years now. Obviously, when I'm talking about dream signing, obviously the dream signings are like your Mbappe's and all those type of players. But in terms of realistic, where I do think it could possibly happen, Rodrigo's at the top of the bill, man. I think he's a real baller. And I feel like he's so underrated in that Real Madrid side. People talk about your Bellinghams, your Valverde's, your Vinny's, your Mbappe's, and rightly so, because they're world-class and quality players. But I always feel like Rodrigo doesn't get the limelight and the credit and everything that he deserves. I think he would fit into Liverpool like a glove. Obviously, he plays right wing for Real Madrid, but he's naturally a left winger. He spoke about how he likes to play off the left, but he's not fussed. He'll do what basically the manager wants him to do. So he has that capability to play off the left and the right and down the middle role. And I just think this move would make so much sense if he was to be really truly available on the market. And because he can play that right wing role, he can fill in a Salah if you want to rest him for a couple of games. He can fill in, take that number one left wing role with the links with Luis Diaz potentially going to Saudi Arabia, potentially could be going to Barcelona if Nico Williams doesn't go there. You can also play down the middle as well. Now, for you stat merchants, this season in La Liga, he has scored 6 goals and 5 assists in 30 matches, and last season he had played 34 matches, 10 goals and 5 assists. So his numbers aren't as prolific and stuff like that. But I just think this kid has got a real big ceiling to reach another level. And I'm going to use a comparison to Neymar Jr. And in the Neymar Jr. comparisons I'm going to use is he wanted to be the big main man, right, at Barca. But unfortunately, he had prime Messi there, prime Suarez in that man. So that's one of the reasons why he went to PSG. I reckon you could see a similar situation, but obviously at Real Madrid. He knows he's never going to be that guy with Bellingham's, the Valverde's, Mbappe's, and Vinny's, and players like that who are at the club. We all know this. He's not going to be the guy, the man when spoken about Real Madrid, unfortunately for him. But if he was to come to a Liverpool or a club in the Premier League, he certainly will. And I genuinely believe the price tag and the wages, it could genuinely make sense. He is on, right? He is on 240,000 euros a week. So I believe we could, if he was to come in, he would probably be on around 200k a week. And if he's looking like he's probably going to be leaving this summer, I reckon he'll probably cost you about 60, 70 million, which fits into the Liverpool mold already. The wages and the price tag. Now it just comes down to whether Rodrigo would want to come. Liverpool have already, there's been, like I said, there's already reports that Liverpool have spoken to the representatives of Rodrigo, and we've always liked and had an interest in him. When I believe he was at Santos back in Brazil, Liverpool liked him a lot. At that 16, 17-year-old, when he was at that age. So we've always had the data sheets. We've always had the strong interest in Rodrigo. It's always been about whether he would want to leave the club or stay at Real Madrid. Now, I just think I just hope he would, because genuinely, I actually think the left wing market is pretty dead, if I'm being really, truly honest with you. In terms of attainable left wingers, it's really dead. Like, I know people like your Nico Williams, your Leao's. I don't particularly rate Leao that highly. I think he's kind of just, he's very much bang average in today's market. And for the price you'd have paid for someone like a Leao is extraordinary. Nico Williams, again, his wages for me. And I just don't think it's a Liverpool type of deal. Although the release clause would probably make sense, I think he's destined to go to Barcelona, if I'm being honest with you. In Nico Williams to go and play with Yamal and all that. And I just think Rodrigo's that next tier of obtainable. Now, there's certainly going to be interest. I expect, I've seen Arsenal had interest, I've seen Manchester City had interest, Paris Saint-Germain. So there's definitely going to be interest all across the clubs. It's not just going to be Liverpool who's going to be in for Rodrigo. But if Rodrigo was going to be a deal that could possibly happen this summer, I expect Liverpool to be front of the queue trying to get this man to come to Anfield. I would just love it to happen, because at 22 years of age, similar numbers to Diaz, and I think like he's just got that level above, and he'll be the future of the attack. He'll be the future of the attack. We're talking about trying to replace Salah. We're trying to replace legendary forwards at the football club. Rodrigo is certainly a part in trying to do that. And if people rate Diaz, people certainly got to rate Rodrigo. Do I think this will happen? No, because I just think he'll probably stay at Real Madrid, to be honest, in my opinion. But if he was to become available, I do think Liverpool will 100% be there. And obviously, from the reports, it's all depending on with Xabi Alonso and stuff like that. In my opinion, would I see him fitting into a Xabi Alonso system? I think it's really interesting because it looks like they are going to play 3-4-3. So you'd have like Trent as your wing backs. And obviously, then it's interesting to see how they would line up their attack, because you got Vinny, Mbappe. When you watch Bayer Leverkusen, they don't necessarily play with left and right wingers. They normally play with the central man. Then it's kind of like two in behind to create the chances. Hence why you've seen like your Florian Wirtz, etc., to create the chances. For example, a Boniface for them. So I do think it's interesting to see how would a Rodrigo set up in a Real Madrid system. Would Xabi Alonso want to keep him and potentially go and get someone else? You know what? I'm shocked that Florian Wirtz is going to Bayern Munich, because I actually genuinely think if you're talking about systems for Xabi Alonso, Wirtz will fit into that like a glove. Look at the attackers that they have up front. The chances he would genuinely create would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous. And if he's available, I expect Liverpool to be there. I think that's what we can expect with the wages again. I just think it fits in like a glove, to be honest with you. 200 grand a week for a player of Rodrigo's caliber and the talent and everything you're paying. It makes absolute sense for Liverpool, and for the price of 60, 70, 80 million. I feel like that fits into Liverpool's mould as well. For £60 million. I 100%. And look, it looks like Liverpool are heavily interested in trying to bolster their attacking options, like we've seen Paul Joyce reporting in the past couple of days. So Rodrigo would 100% be in that mould. I'm just looking at attackers really right now that we're being linked with. I'm not really a fan, if I'm honest with you. But Rodrigo, I'm 100% a fan. I hope, touch wood, Xabi Alonso's like, yo, you can go to Liverpool, son. Be the main man there. But we'll have to wait and see as this story more develops. I do think there is legs 100% in this story. Again, if he is to leave Real Madrid. But we are going to keep you up to date with the latest football and Liverpool news. Make sure you're subscribing and smashing the likes on the channel. Will Rodrigo be a Liverpool player? Will he stay at Real Madrid, or will he go to someone like an Arsenal or City? We'll have to wait and see. But I do think this could be one of the stories of the summer, in my opinion. Rodrigo to Real Madrid, Rodrigo to leave Real Madrid. Keep an eye out for that. Take care and goodbye.